When I was younger, I always used to go to church with my parents every Sunday. It was something that was a staple in my household, and I never questioned it. I never asked them, why do we go every Sunday and things like that. Not until I started getting older was when I decided that I wanted to, question a lot of the things that I used to do when I was a child. But growing up in a Christian household, it was an experience that I know not just myself, but many others have gone through before, especially as someone that is in the LGBTQIA plus community. And when I grew up, I didn't really know much about people being attracted to the same sex. I had cousins and I had a few other family members. I had friends and things like that that were my way of learning about these things and learning about their experiences growing up in households too. There was always this prolonging feeling, probably when I was around the age of like 8 or so, where I did feel like I was different. And it's crazy because when people talk about these things, you're like, wow, you knew at such a young age that you were having these thoughts and experiences. And I'm like, I knew that there was going to be a day where I had to just tell the truth. And there had to be a day where I lived my life for me. I never would have thought that there would be a time where religion would make my life worse than what it was. And I know that might come off a bit harsh, but it happens a lot more than you think. There are people that grow up in religious households and take their religious beliefs and want to make you into something that you're not. And when I was growing up, I was very active in the church. I went to other people's churches. I was in youth church, and I had this connection with God, and I read my Bible, and it was sad because I felt like I can't be accepted for who I am because I'm going to be punished for it because of my religion. Now I don't feel that way because I know that my God that I serve loves everyone, and I'm acceptive of other people's religious beliefs. I don't consider myself a Christian. I do consider myself very spiritual. I don't have a problem with any other religion. I don't have a problem with Christianity. The only thing that I have a problem and issue with is judgment. And there's so many other religions that don't judge you for who you are. And I always know that there's forgiveness and things like that, but you shouldn't be forgiven for who you love. And I know that the God that I pray to loves me for the person that I am. And because I pray to him, and because I believe in him, and because I've been baptized, and so on and so forth. And my spirituality and my connection with him has grown way better than it has when I was constantly going to church and doing all this and that. Because when I was growing up, there was constant judgment. There was times where I would have people that were close to my mother and could hear them whispering things, hear them saying things like, I hope your son doesn't turn out the way that I think he's going to, and I hope that he gets a girlfriend when he grows up. I can't wait to see him get married to a woman and have babies, so on and so forth. Not knowing that when I got older, I would continue to have these feelings for the same sex and opposite sex alike. And when I first came out as bisexual to my parents, I was very afraid, not because they wouldn't love me, but because they would use religion as a way to not accept me for who I was. As time goes on, you start to realize that these boundaries have to be broken. There's no other way to change things than by explaining to people that if you love me, you would love me for the person that I am, no matter what your religion or what other people tell you. I've always been the type of person to be accepting of anything and of everything, whether you're someone that doesn't believe in a higher power or whether you are believing in another religion, because you shouldn't discriminate people because of that. We are a multitude of different people on this world, and we learn so many different things. There's so much that partakes in this world of different religions and of different cultural aspects that I just find it so disrespectful when certain Christians are like, no, you can't believe in that, or no, that's not true. When time gets passed down and there's so much proof of people believing in what they want to believe in, and at the end of the day, you should be kind to one another regardless of what religion you believe in. And you should be kind to one another no matter what way you live your life, whether you're gay, whether you're bi, whether you're straight, whether you're trans, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, we are all human beings. When I first tried to explain my sexuality to my parents, it was a big struggle because they knew that I was hiding something to them, but they just couldn't pinpoint it. And I've never considered myself fully bisexual in the first place, because I think that sexuality is truly a spectrum. I don't even think people who are straight are completely straight. I don't even think people that are gay are completely gay, because that's a whole nother video in itself. But I think that people just like what they like, and you shouldn't have to fight or hide those feelings, because again, we are human. Humans have human feelings. People will feel some type of way about somebody, whether they're angry, mad. Somebody will find somebody attractive because they find that person attractive. No one should be persecuted because of that, no matter what your belief system is. And I've always told myself that no matter what, I was going to stay true to myself, and I was going to be that person that always spoke up about certain issues, whether it comes to people being afraid, being in their own households, to come out because of religious parents, because of religious families. And luckily enough, I have really good people in my life. I have friends, I have family that understand and are accepting of who I am. And I just wish that we lived in a world where everyone could be accepting of how people are and what they are, and not judge one another solely based off of their beliefs. I love being able to learn so many things and learn about different cultures, learn about different religions. And it's crazy because a lot of these religions end up correlating once you really do learn about them. And I think as an overall basis for my spirituality, because I've learned so much about these different cultural aspects and that and more, it's made me closer to God because of that. And even if you don't believe in God, I know that there are plenty of people that will understand how I'm feeling, because I've never been that spiritual type of person. Even when I was growing up in church, I had gotten baptized and I had been reading my Bible. I had talked to friends in youth church and things like that. And we used to talk about so many different touchy subjects that not a lot of preachers or even other youth pastors would talk about. And I think that was the one thing that still gave me my connection to religion and to like spirituality in general, because I was in a well-lit space of people that understood how I was feeling, because there wasn't just other people that were dealing with, religious parents and that and more. They were dealing with so many other things and made them question whether this religion was for them, whether they should believe in religion, or whether they should be connected to a higher power. And as I continue to grow and become the man that I'm becoming to be, I know that I can't go anywhere within this life without still having that connection to a higher power. And my spirituality has grown exponentially even after coming out to my parents and coming out to friends and family and to the whole world itself. And I feel like it's better to talk about these things, because I know that I'm not the only person that is dealing with these certain issues and have this mindset. And it's good for me to let this out, but it's also an outlet for those of you that are feeling the same way and have dealt with similar aspects in your own life as well too. Now, it wasn't an easy road, I'll tell you that much, because I was scared as hell when I first told my parents, because I knew that they were going to tell other people, and word gets around. Like, that's the sad thing about certain churches, and I'm not speaking about all churches, just certain churches. You get this feeling of there's no community, especially like mega churches, because that's what I used to grow up going to, was these big churches that were like huge cathedrals, and like they had all these different aspects and choirs that were filled with hundreds of people, and sermons would be going on for 3 to 4 hours, and you wouldn't even feel the spirit or feel what the preacher was sermoning. And that's what made me push myself away from it. And that's the scary thing, is that a lot of people don't realize the main reason that a lot of people push away from the church and from religion is because of these things, because you feel this judgment as soon as you walk through the door, and there's gossip and there's things that shouldn't be happening within this type of space. There should be community, there should be love. And I wish that more of these churches, preachers and all this would understand that more, because then that would push more people into being spiritual, into believing in a higher power, into believing God, into believing religion, and so on and so forth, other than making people feel less than what they're worth. At the end of the day, you should love yourself and not worry about what other people say and what judgment they have, because I know for a fact that God, the universe, everything, it doesn't revolve around judgment. It revolves around being peaceful, about loving each other, and about just going on with a presence in the day that makes you want to uplift others instead of pushing people down. I always felt like I was different, and growing up in a religious household, it made me feel like I should never be my true self. And being able to come out of that aspect and try to teach elders, try to teach my parents, and try to teach people that don't understand a different aspect of what really we feel at the end of the day is something that I'm really trying to strive towards until, you know, the day that I pass on. Because this world is too short to have so much hatred for people just because they're different. This world is too short to have so much hatred in your heart just because we're not the same. And I just truly hope that one day we can grow to a place where we can all just love each other for being the human beings that we are. I know that was kind of deep. But that was something that I've had on my chest for a while, something that I've really wanted to just talk about. And I just wanted to know if maybe there was other people out there that felt the same. I know that everyone's relationships with religion and with their families and so much more are completely different than my own. So I would love to know about it in the comments. I'd love to chat about it if you're open to that. And I think that is it for this video. So if you haven't already, I would really appreciate it if you subscribed and joined this journey that I'm on. And I really appreciate everyone that does watch my videos on this channel, that comments, that likes. That does help out so much. And I hope to see you in the next one and hope to keep continuing having conversations like this. Other than that, my face is popping somewhere up on the screen, so you can go ahead and subscribe. And there should be a video that YouTube is recommending to you that they think you would enjoy. So I hope to see you over there. Bye.